Hey old friends, welcome to the channel again. Bob here, and this is another Wurm Online video. Today, it's been a while since I did one of these. I always kind of, I'm not sure why I should worry about these things so much, but I do always think to myself, what do people think when I must well, what I think to myself is people must think this guy he plays an MMO, you get a couple of videos and that's it. You just hardly see anything else. And you'd be absolutely right. I can't argue that point at all. But when you see me play an MMO, I do still play it, and I don't stop playing it because I don't like it or I'm not enjoying myself. As I've said before, a number of times, it's just the fact that I just have a number of MMOs on the go, and I kind of like something about all of them. And there's stuff I don't like about all of them as well, but that's just one of those things. That's why things are let's go and drink some water. Oh, okay. Open the cart. Let's just do that so I can quickly go and drink some water. So this is as I was saying, that's just how it is. But I do play them, and I do get around to doing videos on them when I feel up to it. Oh, hello, drink. But yeah, so this is my house that I finished off in the last video. I think I finished it off anyway. And now what I'm doing is looking to kind of get myself to a point where I can expand it a bit. But the first thing I want to do is create a bed to sleep in, essentially, so I think I can get myself some sleepy type bonus, which means that you kind of get a little boost in skill gains, basically, and that's what I'm looking to do. So we're starting off with the bed. I'm not going to do too much of this on the video. I'm just kind of showing you what I'm doing at the moment, and then we'll move on to other things where we get the bed placed, and then kind of look at other stuff and see what's what. Yeah, I assume that I always kind of think to myself that Wurm is such a sedate game that you do spend a lot of time just looking at bars going up, which is fine, and I'm not quite sure. But I always kind of think to myself, well, does that make an interesting video? But I guess if you play Wurm, you understand that, and I'm going to guess it's maybe not too much of a problem. But I'm currently making the bed to put down. There are some other stuff that I need, and how I get those. It's basically iron and wood to build the bed frame and the cedar and the headboard. I don't need to go into that. That's stuff that you can, if you haven't already done, it's quite easy to work out yourself. But there's a couple of bits that I need that I'm not quite sure how to get, primarily because I've just never made them before, so I will need to have a look at that, and see what happens. I've still got my skills going up. Carpentry, I think bed is fine carpentry, so that's quite good, because fine carpentry raises your general carpentry skill overall, and there are some carpentry jobs that just come under carpentry. They don't come under any of this stuff here, so that's pretty good. Kind of going, like, looking ahead. I kind of want to make a boat of some kind, do some exploring. I want to make a particular weapon for myself, do some weapon raising skills, raise the weapon skill as well, so I can make myself a bit more. Something just a bit more survivable when I go out and stuff. Because I'm quite enjoying this crafting stuff, but I don't feel that I'm going to be the sort of player who's going to build. I think I said this before, but who's going to build a grand stone castle. Maybe later on, but I don't think that's going to be my main focus. I think my main focus ultimately will be to get myself to a point where I'm proficient in combat. And go and raise those skills, and raise things like taming, magic, all that kind of stuff. That's probably where I'm going to be focusing my time on when I get to a point where I kind of feel that I've got kind of like a fairly good base established, that I don't need to worry about it too much. I can just it's just ready to go. I do want to expand my house a bit so it's a bit bigger. But I don't mind the wooden structure. It kind of makes it feel a bit medieval peasanty. Or medieval hunter rangery kind of thing. But anyway, I'll get the bed going and then I'll come back. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, I'm outfitted for war because to make my bed I need 3 pieces of fur. The game has told me that fur comes from well, black wolves or bears. There's a black wolf up there that I can go and fight myself. I've got no idea how my combat is going to go, basically. I'm not sure if I'm ready to be killing monsters on my own, but take, move, place. Okay, so that's a black wolf that someone just killed and then left there, basically. Yeah, so to finish my bed I need some fur. 3 of them. I haven't got any. I thought I did have some, but I was mistaking fur for pelts, basically. That actually looks like that's a dog now, isn't it? It's not actually a black wolf. And there's a lava fiend there. Okay. Oh, my premium's run out. I didn't realise. My deed's still got like 30 days left worth of time, but that's okay. Well, that's annoying. I don't think I'm going to go up there. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to what's that down there? Mountain lion. I wonder if mountain lion. I think I've butchered mountain lions before, and I think that they only drop pelts rather than furs. But we'll go and quickly check it out anyway. Maybe. I've lost it. I need to get my grass cut, obviously. On my land. Where was it? Oh, for pity's sake. What am I doing? Am I completely looking in the wrong section? It was fairly easy to see from back up there. And now it's gone. Okay, well, what a great part of the video this is. Let's go back up again. I think I've just completely walked past it. There's the troll. Stuff being easier to see when you're above it, obviously, that's obviously a thing. I mean, why would it not be? Now, why was it easy to see this? Oh, there it is. Let's walk straight towards it. Okay, I don't know how I didn't see that. Wow, it's hidden by the grass. Obviously. Is that something else that someone has? No, it can be butchered. I think these just do pelts rather than fur. So I don't think we will find anything here. My butchery must be quite low. That's taking quite some time. Okay. Just some meat. Well, we'll take that. Hello. Cool. I've got the whole corpse. Corpse of. Okay. On ground. Meat. Ah, weird. You know what? That's something new I've just learned. I had no idea you could pick up a whole corpse. Wowzer. Okay. So yeah, so I'm on a quest for some fur. I'll begin that quest and I'll let you know if I have any luck. So while I was out exploring, I've come across an altar of foe. I think foe is obviously one of the gods, I would imagine. It has got a prey option, but I'm not quite sure that that is a good idea. I'm not sure if it kind of commits me to Magic. I'm not sure if that ties me into anything particular that maybe I don't want to be tied into yet, so I will leave that for the moment. It's interesting. I'm kind of just having an explore fairly close to my own settlement, and I kind of suspected something may happen, and it has, and that's kind of the, I guess, is the, naturally, almost like is that like a sap type thing attached to that tree? What tree is this? Maple tree. Oh, maybe that maple sap or something. I wonder if that's what you get if you chop the tree down. I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought to myself, what would happen is that the thing, it gets to a point where things kind of get picked clean from an animal point of view. So when I was playing last time I was playing, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, just down on the road, just down on the beach where I was, there were a ton of animals that are not there anymore. I guess they could have died of natural causes, potentially. Yeah, but that was kind of something that I suspected would probably happen at some point. Do you know what I need to do here is I need to... I had a horse that's died, and which is fine. But what I need to do is interesting. Someone's got a little tent here. Storage. They've created some hedges leading around. There's a road going on here, and there's a road going up there. Look, it's amazing. People come into the game and get so much done. I mean, over here there's a huge, well, I say huge for me, huge town. It's already got statues and stone walls and guard towers and stone buildings and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, there are a lot of people here doing this. People getting together in a guild, I guess, and doing all this kind of stuff, which is pretty amazing. But I think, I guess this is kind of a criticism and not a criticism. But Wurm, I don't feel that Wurm... I know there are people out there who will disagree with me, and there will people who will say that they just take it easy and relax and play casually and don't have any problems. And that's fine, but I don't feel that Wurm is a game for someone who is casual in a time sense. I really do believe, because activities take so long, I really do believe that if you're going to play Wurm, you need to dedicate a lot of time to it, because it takes a lot of time to get anywhere. And as one of those players, what you'll also find is, I'm not saying it's impossible, by the way, but because there are already players who have come in and they've done a lot, particularly like oh no, stop digging, you fool. Particularly around, stop digging. Particularly around the area wherever you may be. If you've got a settlement like this big settlement here, for example, it becomes harder and harder to find things that you need. So I was kind of thinking to myself, well, I think I probably need to try and get to a point where I can tame a horse. I can ride a horse just for getting around quicker, because it's so slow walking. You come to realise eventually that it's just so slow walking. It's a pain in the neck. But then obviously, like coming back after 2 or 3 weeks, all the animals have been picked clean. I haven't seen a wild animal yet. Alive, essentially. So yeah, so it's interesting. It's look, there's a hell horse over there. So it's interesting. The people in the local area who are investing more time, and there are more people, which is fine. I'm not criticising that. but if you're a more casual player, yeah, I feel that you may struggle. Because if I want a horse, for example, I might have to travel further afield to find one. And I guess depending on the size of the server and how many people there are on the server, yeah, it may just be a thing where it's harder to do. And yeah, and I guess it's not really a criticism. Maybe that's just the way the game is. Even on new servers, what you're going to do. People like the new fresh experience. They like the new experience of starting on a new, talking about experienced players, older players. They like the experience of starting on a new server and building up again. because that's the gameplay loop that they like. But I do wonder, even coming onto a new server like this, if you're coming onto a new server, there's a boat. Look, someone's boat. That's an awesome sight. Yeah, if you are coming onto a server as a new player, even on a fresh server like this, I wonder if it doesn't take long for the servers to get to a point where, where maybe things just become difficult to do because they become more scarce. Now, this is bearing in mind the fact that I'm probably talking horse smeg, because I'm not 100% sure what the spawn time is on new animals and that kind of thing. I'm assuming that's Mad Viking. That's nice seeing a boat sailing along there. I wonder where they're going. Just exploring, possibly. Yeah, so that's something to think about as a new player, and maybe more experienced players can expand on that in chat, or kind of put me to rights, or give the correct information. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that you think of a fresh server and you think, oh, this is great. And it has been great for me, like getting my own little spot of land. And I know now that that land is mine for as long as I want it to be. And I can do with it kind of what I want, essentially. Yeah, so the dog's not aggressive, so I'm not going to attack the dog. I don't think it will have fur anyway. We're going to travel around to this section, and see what we can find. Yeah, but it's interesting. You know, as I said, if anyone's got any information to expand on that, that'd be really good. But yeah, even coming into a new server, you'll get experienced players coming onto the new server because they like that gameplay loop. Yeah, and then it means that this is still really, for me, I think personally, it's still a really short period of time that the server's been running, and already I'm noticing that there are no horses or cows or animals at all available. I haven't seen, whereas the beach where I was before was full of them. Now I understand, you know, the counter argument to that will be, you haven't played for 3 weeks, that's life, but it is quite a short space of time. Yeah, it is a short space of time to just find things now very difficult. I'm assuming I can't get these because they're fenced off. Someone has fenced them off. Sorry, I'm walking across someone's field. So I'm assuming that these are someone's horses and they're breeding them and stuff. Yeah, so that would basically be tame. Yeah, so this would basically be stealing, I would assume. Yeah, okay, well there you go. It's something to think about if you're a new player. I guess it's not a criticism, it's just the reality of the game. And you know, I've spent 3 weeks away, and now doing certain things might be quite tricky, like getting myself a horse, for example. And I'm sure these people will sell them, you know, and that's all part of the game. You know, you sell. Oh, a pelt. I thought there might have been a fur. Yeah, that's part of the game. You know, you get animals, you breed them, and you sell them. But yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I'm just chucking out thoughts there, and I'm quite happy for more veterans players to put me right. But I wonder if the reality is that even a new server is probably not going to feel new for very long. Yeah, in certain aspects, not all aspects, but in certain aspects. I guess what I should have done initially at the start with the rush is I should have, you know, I'm not sure how easy it is to do, but I should have gathered up some of these horses and built a little pen for them so I could then start breeding them. Yeah, but it's interesting. You know, it's interesting after just however long the new servers have been out, that if you haven't played consistently and done the required stuff, maybe you're behind already, you know, to an extent where maybe some stuff will be quite difficult to do. I mean, I guess you can just go on. Is that Black Wolf? I guess you could just go on expeditions, you know, and maybe take your tent as a save point, go off searching for horses. But yeah, maybe it's the same everywhere. You know, maybe, as I said, maybe if you didn't do those things at the start, it now becomes less viable. And particularly as a new player coming in, maybe there are certain things that are even less viable. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me. I mean, the next part of the video may not be for a day or two in the future, because I need to find something to kill for some fur. But we'll see. Hello, welcome back to the video. So this video is going to end quicker than I expected. It's the same day. I've had a range around as far as I felt I could go, but it's night time now, so I'm kind of heading back home. Nowhere to sleep this evening. No bed to sleep in anyway. Yeah, I've only been back playing a day, and I do feel slightly despondent. I think there's a combination of things with Wurm. I think new players and veteran players alike are looking for something. I think the starting again thing is very appealing for everyone. So I understand there's probably new players that waited to start for the new server like me. And veteran players are waiting for it because they enjoy that loop. They enjoy the loop of starting again, building their hut, then their house, then their settlement, then their boats and their ships and their galleons, whatever it may be. If you like that kind of sandbox game, it's a very appealing, addictive kind of gameplay loop. And so I think maybe, not in all aspects, but maybe to a certain extent, maybe it was kind of a bit naive thinking that a new server would be much different. In reality, it's been better for me in a sense. I started on the day the server came out, roughly. Not at the start, but within the 24 hours of it coming out. I went and got myself some land somewhere that I wanted to get. I built myself a house. All that kind of thing has been really interesting, and I've enjoyed it. But then I kind of took a 3-week break or 2 or 3 week break or whatever it was, and I've come back, and now there are certain things that I want to do to kind of progress to the next stage. And I've kind of come across a bit of a wall, and that wall I think is just because of the fact that you had all those players kind of waiting for a fresh start. Many of them would have been experienced and would have known what processes to go through to make it more efficient for themselves. So then you come back, you take a break. Probably not the wise thing to do, but you take a break, and you find yourself behind and struggling to do things. And I kind of want to just qualify a couple of something that I said before when I said the game's not aimed at casual players. What I meant was it's like you can log into this game 6 hours a day and be casual. I understand that. You log in, you just take your time. You don't feel under any stress. Your skills go up as they go up, and you do things as you do them. What I meant by it was I don't think it's a game that you can take casually from a time point of view. So logging in for like an hour, a few hours a week, you can do that, but it's going to take you literally 20 years probably to get somewhere. I do feel that, and I do feel that taking a break for 3 weeks or so has meant that I'm now behind, and there are certain things that I'm struggling to do. So I'm running around, there's no monsters. Like, where are all the monsters? When I say monsters, I mean things like I've seen a spider alive. So a spider, where are the wolves for me to get fur? Where are the bears for me to get fur from? I've no idea. I haven't seen any. Where have they all gone? There are no horses, no cattle, no sheep. I haven't come across anything at all. And I think that's the thing with a new server. You get, you're in an area. Everyone's got their own bit of land. Some bigger than others. I guess they'll get guard towers. So if monsters probably spawn and die immediately because it's everyone's got their own land with their guards and that kind of thing. So it becomes harder to find things that way. It's interesting. I do find the psychology interesting of the addiction to that gameplay loop, and I include myself in that. I think I would also become addicted to it, like the thoughts of starting again, building somewhere new, fresh start, fresh life type stuff. You know, particularly if going through the period in 2020 that we're going through. There's probably more people looking to do that. More people have got time to do that. Yeah, but it's been interesting. I do feel coming back that I'm now behind, and the server has moved on very quickly to a point where there's probably a lot of experienced players out there who have built stuff up very quickly and kind of, you know, dominating the landscape. Which I don't want it to sound like. I don't want it to sound negative. I understand that's how it works. But I kind of feel that to a certain extent, that experience that I had in the first couple of weeks has kind of gone now, and it probably won't be too long before the server is probably very similar to all the other servers. But that's a reality. You know, I kind of probably made it sound a bit like a negative in the first part of the video, and I guess a negative from a point of view of that's kind of where we are. But I think that's the reality. You know, that's just how it goes. I'm going to kind of soldier on and try and do the things I want to do. I will be able to do them, but things that are already time consuming, because that's the nature of the game, have become much more time consuming. You know, because players have come in, they've laid down their foundations. They're now growing, and everything seems to be much more scarce than it was, apart from trees. There are trees everywhere and rocks. But anyway, I'm back in Wurm after a short break, and that short break has meant quite a big progression on the server for everyone else who's carried on playing. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.